Unto a world weary of heroes, a hero wends his way. The Exarch did send word that thou would seek me out.
I'm really struggling this morning. I know nobody's gonna see this, but I'm really struggling. Holy cow, these recordings are terrible. Hey guys, previously we rescued Minfilia from Laxan Loft and we escaped with Thancred to Il Mheg. Today we're exploring Il Mheg with Thancred, Minfilia, and the twins in hopes that we can find Urianger to hopefully defeat the Light Warden in this area. How hard is it going to be to find Urianger? Once we find him, how has he been? And how hard is it to get to the Light Warden? Firstly, we must do some chores for the Faeries before they'll lift their spell to let us find Urianger. But first, we must find the Faeries with something called looking grass. Get it? Oh, it's like a little magnifying glass. How cute. Oh, they're just little lights. I was hoping for like flying scary creatures or like that would have been cool. What? Okay, they're not nearly as scary as I thought they'd be.
Oh, we're found! How did this mortal know our trick? I recognize their souls. These two have been here before.
Look, twins! How adorable!
Oh!
Are they gonna be creepy about twins?
We have neither the time nor inclination to play. We have come to see Urianger. Now, if you'd be so kind as to lift your spell.
Shall we?
They all look exactly the same.
What now?
We jump them while they're not looking.
I don't know, but this is their home, so we must indulge them.
Right, we've made up our minds. We will lift our spell on one condition, that you first lend us a helping hand.
It's always an exchange for an exchange. Oh my
Once
gosh.
you've helped solve all of our troubles, we'll let you see Urianger. Pixies on it.
I don't trust him. Chores, yeah, exactly. Chores bringer. Oh my gosh. We do our chores of collecting food, planting plants, and learning that the cool shrubs that we have to water are actually people who visited the area and are now staying forever. However, after doing a ton of these chores, we remember that we have a pact with Feo Ul, and we summon her to our side.
You're late! Late!
Huh?
I've been waiting for you to summon me ever since you came here. Waiting and waiting and waiting. But my sapling didn't so much as utter my name. Such a heartless thing he is. Cold and cruel and heartless!
Why do I feel like I'm in trouble? I'm being scolded by you guys, stop!
Another self-important little brat. Just what we need.
Reminds me of my childhood.
There it is.
All right, I'm sorry. It was a joke. Honestly, just a joke. But just now you called for me so earnestly, so fervently. I couldn't possibly stay angry at you. Very well. As your lovely branch, I will lend you my strength.
Thank goodness, because we're lost. I'm trying to find Urianger. Please help.
Well. If it isn't Feo Ul, the mold Feo. It's been too long.
The Mad Bloom? That can't be good.
Not long enough for you to think of any new games, though, apparently. If I were you, I'd be bored of myself. Now let me make something clear. That mortal is mine. No matter what you do, she will never be yours. Never, ever! And if you lay so much as a finger on my sapling, I'll scatter the contents of his bag all over your precious village. There'll be cold, hard metal, furry, festering food, stinky, sweaty small clothes, and all manner of other terrible, unmentionable things. How would you like that, hmm?
I don't have any of those things in my inventory. Food, I guess we do have 500 eggs. That's actually... We have 500 eggs, just kidding.
But will you not at least let us play with the twins? Just while the others go and see Urianger?
Aye, that's all we ask. And we promise we'll play nicely.
It seems we won't be joining you.
Oh, poor Alfie.
Aye! We'll reveal the hidden Vernick to you at once.
Hey, oh my gosh, that's not as bright. Thank goodness. Holy cow. Oh wow, look at that. Is that where Urianger is? Now that Feo Ul has been a lovely branch and assisted us with lifting the fairy spell, let's go see our boy, Urianger. Urianger, what's goody in the hoodie? Wow.
Urianger, are you in?
Urianger, are you in?
Unto a world weary of heroes, a hero wends his way. The Exarch did send word that thou wouldst seek me out, but ne'er did I imagine thou wouldst arrive so soon. Full glad am I to see thee once more, my friend, and none the worse for thy travails.
Run along, Minfilia. We will meet you outside.
Why can't she stay?
Another one for you to imbue, if you'd be so kind.
I feel kind of bad for her. I feel like he kind of treats her bad.
I take it thou hast met with our other comrades already?
Except for Ishtola. And I have like a very basic understanding of what's happening.
That Master Alphino and Mistress Alize now travel in thy company is of great comfort to me. As for the rest, it beginneth in earnest. The hunting of the Light Wardens, and perforce the war with Yulmore. Hark thee then to my words, and through them behold the vision that I did glimpse, that of the Eighth Umbral Calamity.
Oh, is this gonna be a cutscene? Are they gonna show us what he saw for the Eighth Umbral Calamity?
As I drifted hither to the first, traversing the boundary twixt reality and potentiality, I did bear witness to events yet to come.
Okay, which is what they said. He saw this while he was coming to the first.
There I saw the combined forces of Eorzea and the Far East offering fierce resistance to the legions of Garlemald.
Okay.
So fierce, in fact, that they did begin to push the enemy back. Ilm by painful ilm at first, then Yalm by Yalm, and Malm by Malm in time. Yet the joy they felt was short-lived, for in so doing they did force the Empire's hand. Faced with defeat, the Garleans turned to a weapon most vile. Black Rose.
Okay, so this is all... So far this has happened for the most part. Unless he's having about it happening again.
Its potency defied all reckoning.
Okay, so he's talking about it happening again where the Garleans invade again.
Once released, the gas took on a life of its own, wreaking untold carnage not only in Eorzea, but in the provinces of the Empire besides. From fighters upon the front lines to babes in their beds, none were spared. And as the casualties became too numerous to count, so did the fabric of civilization begin to unravel. Nor did the land itself escape unscathed. For spreading from the site of its release, Black Rose brought death to the very soil.
So is the release of the Black Rose the Eighth Umbral Calamity? Is that what he's basically telling us right now?
To survive amidst the chaos and upheaval, men came to live by the sword, the rule of law giving way, inevitably, to the rule of might. Thus was the spark struck and the fire kindled, and swiftly did it spread as a blaze in a field of straw to engulf every corner of the world. Nations worthy of the name did then cease to exist. And those souls brave and true who might have risen to restore order.
Killed, banished, murdered, yeeted, deleted. Tataru, Kryl, all killed. Thancred, Ishtola, the twins, Alfie and Alice. Oh fuck. And then I assume me also? So not him though? So he didn't just see me die, he saw us all die.
Were no more. For the weapon spared not one, not even thee. An endless age of war, begotten by the blight of Black Rose. Such is the legacy of the Eighth Umbral Calamity which I did behold.
So how do we know that this isn't, like, this has kind of already been set in motion, so how do we stop it?
No matter the cost, we must forestall this tragedy. To that end, I have labored during my sojourn in this world, discovering in so doing the answer to a pressing mystery.
I've labored during my sojourn in this world, discovering in so doing the answer to a pressing mystery. Was it the mystery that we were just talking about, or is it a different mystery, Urianger?
That of Black Rose's inexplicable potency.
Did you find a way to reduce the potency? Because that would be cool.
Come.
He came. Were we to Heavensward again? What the frick?
Dost thou recognize yonder chart?
Should I? I think I do. Chart of the elements? I mean, that was my first thought, but I don't think I've ever seen it before. Wind, water, ice, earth, fire, lightning with a tree in the middle of it.
Indeed. 'Tis a rendering of the elemental wheel, such as one might find in classrooms across the source.
Here we go. Back to school, nerds.
As the chart maketh plain, our world is composed of 6 elements, in addition to which there exist 2 poles in fundamental opposition.
Lightning and ice, wind and earth, fire and water. Perfect, okay. Yeah, okay.
Astral, the active. Umbral, the passive.
Okay.
As a reflection of the source, the first naturally compriseth the selfsame forces. Yet, curiously, there is a notable divergence in their nomenclature. To be specific, the denizens of this world employ not the terms astral and umbral.
What do they call it?
Thus was I moved to inquire what names said forces had been assigned. A simple question which yielded a most unexpected answer.
What names they call? So he wants to know what they call it here, because they have different names for races and stuff too.
Upon demanding the name of the pole aligned with activity and growth, I was told that as life's myriad colors combine to produce black, the people of the first had called it darkness. At this, did my mind begin to race. Yet 'twas only when I asked what name had been given to the pole aligned with passivity
Light.
that mine eyes were opened to the truth. Peace and tranquility being as purest white, unmarred by color, I was told it had been given the name of light.
Okay.
That's umbral light and astral darkness, yes? I'm no etherologist, but it strikes me that the nomenclature of the first is rooted in the generation of the two forces, while our own appears to focus on their effects. Which makes one wonder, have we had it backwards this time?
Probably. Shit.
'Tis indeed a compelling question, and one which beareth closer examination. Yet what knowledge we already possess sufficeth to explain the chain of events.
Knowledge we already possess sufficeth to explain the chain of events.
The phenomenon of etheric thinning observed in the source is the consequence of light, the power of stasis, flowing in from the first to stifle the movement of ether within the land. And according to Master Alphino, Black Rose slayeth by halting the circulation of ether within living beings.
Yeah, it like chokes them.
Should such a weapon be unleashed even as the first were rejoined, replete as it is with light,
We would have a disaster of untold proportions on our hands. A calamity. Well, at least we have a better grasp of what we're facing. Our objective, however, remains unchanged. We are to eliminate the Light Warden of Il Mheg. Speaking of which, were you able to ascertain its whereabouts?
Aye. 'Tis all but certainly ensconced within Urianger, the castle which standeth in the midst of the lake.
Of course it's in a
To
freaking
enter
castle.
said stronghold, we must needs turn to the pixies for aid. Fortunately, I have become quite adept at courting their cooperation. Henceforth shall I accompany you, and do all in my power to ensure that my vision doth not come to pass.
Sweet. The band's almost back together. We're mostly back together at this point. Okay, my brain kind of hurts. My brain is trying to process all that information that we just received. Okay, that's a lot of information, and I try to process it further following the cutscene and while I was editing just now, and my brain just hurts even more. Urianger tells us that if we give some gifts together, we can request a boon from the fairies. So I go ahead and I get some gifts together for the fairies, and I bring back what they were looking for. However, Urianger and Thancred have some more information in regards to Minfilia, and a visit from her past self. Do we have all the things for the fairies?
'Tis done. The pixies shall be well pleased with these gifts.
Cool, and then they're gonna let us into the castle so we can kill the Light Warden?
Lest I forget.
What are you forgetting? Don't forget. Don't forget, Urianger. A gift?
White auracite, newly forged for thy use.
White auracite will forever be connected to Moonbrita. Forever.
Our mission being to thwart a rejoining, we will most assuredly cross paths with those who crave the contrary. Our eternal enemies.
Ascians.
Thus did I choose to abide in this ether-rich land, the better to fashion a trap for the Ascian's essence.
Smart. Smart.
May I come in now?
Aw.
You may indeed, assuming you've finished.
I did as you asked.
That's my girl, thank you. I should probably explain. Though my body remained behind in the source, its limitations saw fit to accompany me. Which is to say, I cannot manipulate ether.
God damn it, Thancred.
I took up the gunblade for its defensive advantages, but on account of my little impairment, I cannot imbue the ammunition myself. Luckily for me, Minfilia has quite a talent for it.
Minfilia,
Okay, sick.
once we set forth, we are not like to return for some while. If thou wouldst choose tomes to take with thee, let it be now.
Really? May I?
Aw. This is
Of course,
cute.
my dear. Yet have care thou dost not add overmuch to thy burden, lest I incur Thancred's ire.
Aw, this is cute.
Hast thou spoken to him of thine encounter with the Minfilia of Eld?
Huh?
Well, I suppose now is as good a time as any.
What does that mean?
As you know, I freed young Minfilia from captivity in Yulmore some 3 years past.
Correct.
Not long after, the two of us journeyed to the south of Armareng, to the edge of the Empty, where the flood was halted. It was there that she awakened. The Minfilia of old. My Minfilia.
Our Minfilia, please. The Oracle of Light.
Tell me, what must I do to bring you back?
My dearest Thancred, as I am now, I am no different from an Ascian. This child is but a vessel. One of many I have used that I might spread word of her enduring blessing and preserve the flame of hope. In my name, each has died, never having lived her own life. I have taken enough from these children. I will take no more.
But what of your suffering? Your sacrifice? This isn't fair! I will not stand for it. I cannot! There must be something we can do. Tell me!
Should the day come when this child grows weary of fighting and wishes to cast it all aside, then shall I take up her burden. But should she wish instead to become the master of her own destiny, then shall I bequeath to her my all. Imbued with the strength that I reserve for rebirth, she may come to wield my powers as her own.
And what of my wishes? What of Flamine's? What of all the people who love and care for you and want nothing more than to see you again?
It's too late for that.
It is not their decision to make. It is hers. This child's. This Minfilia's.
How kind, though.
You have ever watched over me, Thancred.
Yeah, yes.
Now I ask that you do the same for her. Protect her. Teach her. Stand by her as you stood by me. There is much and more she does not know. She needs a guide to show her the ways of the world, or she will never find her own path. When the time comes, you will find me here. Until that day.
Minfilia, wait!
What happened?
Oh, poor Thancred.
And then she was gone. Minfilia, the girl, claims to have no recollection of any of it.
So there's a chance then that in time, our Minfilia could come back.
I have told her many things. Where we came from, what we fight for. But of that day, I have not spoken.
How do you want this to end, Thancred? I'm kind of curious. Is he going to say that it's not up to him? Because that would be the right answer. But obviously, I'm sure he wishes. He's not going to give an answer, is he?
With the coming of another possessed of the blessing of light, the first hath begun to rise up in defiance of its fate. The question remaineth, however, who shall take up the flame of hope which Minfilia hath borne for so long? Whether we will it or no, the choice must soon be made.
I'm sorry I took so long. It was so hard to choose. In the end, I settled on just the one.
That is well. Now, if all is in order, let us set forth for Lida Loran.
Is that why he's so mean to her? Is that why he's so grumpy? We take the gifts to the fairies, and they allow us to ask for one boon, which we request entry to the castle to kill their king. Their king is the Light Warden of this area because they defeated the last Light Warden and were consumed by the light, which, if you remember, is a pretty normal occurrence when you defeat a Light Warden, unless you're the Warrior of Darkness, like ourselves. The fairies provided us with one of 4 artifacts that we need to gain entry to the castle, and information on the location of the remaining 3. Catch us next time as we collect the artifacts needed to gain entry to the castle, and we defeat the Light Warden. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.